Everybody. Okay, welcome to our first Tending List Tuesday on Instagram. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. It says we're telling everybody that people are joining, so I'll give everybody a couple of minutes to hop on. Again, my name is Kelly. Hey, Sarah. I'm so excited to be here with y'all and grateful to be here with y'all today. We are moving our weekly Tending List Tuesdays from Zoom to Instagram Live to make it more accessible for you and hopefully give you some midweek encouragement that you can just get right from your phone. Can you hear me okay? First time if you can hear me. I have my headphones on, so not sure. Yeah, okay, good. I am super excited to be here with y'all today. Like I said, we are moving Tending List Tuesday to Instagram, but if you're already a PowerSheets user, you'll still have access to the replay in your dashboard, just like always. It's nothing new. You can just also join live here on Instagram and you'll have access to the replays here on a highlight as well. I see some first time Tending List Tuesdays. Hooray! Tina, is that your name? Yeah, Tina. I am so excited you're here for your first one ever. Hey, Rachel. Hello, Christina. Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know. I'm just super grateful to be here with y'all. I know I've already said it, but I was once a PowerSheets user before I worked at Cultivate What Matters, and Tending List Tuesdays always brought me a lot of encouragement. So I'm just really glad to be here with you today. A little bit of housekeeping. If you have been to any of our classes with me, then you know that two things about me. One, I'm horrible with technology. So if something goes wrong, I'll be back. And two, I get really distracted by the chat. So we have some lovely girls from Team Cultivate that are in the chat to answer any questions that you have. And I will try to go back at the end and scroll through. Tell us where you're joining from. I see some Belgium, Sweden. Another first timer. Congrats. This is so exciting. Wow, you guys are awesome. I'm so glad y'all are here. Okay, let's just dive right in. This is a really exciting topic, a personal one for me, because this is, honestly, the topic today is kind of where my goal setting broke down, and you might also be like that too. For me, I kind of struggled to achieve my goals because I was really, really good at going through my power sheets and doing my prep work and kind of organizing what I wanted my life to look like. But then when it came time to actually make it happen, that's where it stopped for me, and I struggled to execute the plan that I had written in my power sheets. So we're going to talk about that today. Hopefully I can give you some encouragement and share some personal stuff from my own life that's worked for me. We're talking today about goal setting versus daily planning. So how are they alike? How are they different? And what you can do to make your goals happen. All right, so I've got my notes here, make sure I don't miss anything. Full disclosure, this actually is something that can still be a struggle for me, and I'll talk to you about why as we go. But if you're struggling with the same thing, I really sincerely hope that this helps you and encourages you and gives you some ideas for things you can do in your own life to move the needle on your goals and actually feel accomplished at the end of the day. All right, so before we start, if you're new here, like I said, good question. What is this all about? This is our weekly accountability check-in. Every week we get together at 1:30 Eastern Time. We call it Tending List Tuesday. I'll talk to you about the tending list in a minute too, but basically we just check in on our goals and we give you some encouragement and some tips to help make your life more simple, more easy, and to help you reach your goals that you care so much about. So we moved it to Instagram, like I said. It used to be on Zoom, but Instagram's a little bit more accessible. I'll say this again, if you're already a PowerSheets user, you'll still have access to the replays like normal in your dashboard, but you'll also be able to access the replays here on Instagram. We'll save them to a highlight so you can find them all. If you need a little encouragement, come back and watch. Okay, also, if you already have your power sheets, remember you have a Goal School dashboard you can log into. There's a lot of free resources in there, a lot of teaching videos in there. If you do not have power sheets yet and you have goals that you want to achieve and you're not making progress on them, I have some good news for you. Power sheets, 1-year power sheets are 30% off in our shop right now, so you can get your set now. It's not too late. I know January 1st is already past, but please don't let that stop you from making progress on the things that matter to you, because chances are if they matter to you today, they're still going to matter to you when we launch 2024 power sheets, 2025 power sheets. Go ahead and get started and make progress on those things that matter now, because they're not going to go away. If they really matter to you, they're going to keep mattering to you, and you don't have to pause progress on those things just because it's not January 1st. Like, that's a really terrible excuse. Honestly, I've been there, I know, but also don't let that be an excuse. Power sheets are 30% off right now, which is a great deal. I did want to show you two of our low in stock covers. Bluebird is low in stock, so if you like this pretty blue color, you probably want to get it while it's on sale. And also super low in stock is Papaya. Papaya is, I wish you could see it really well on the camera, but it's like, it just reminds me of a vacation. If you need a life that you would like a vacation from, you need to grab the power sheets. 30% off. We have some other covers too, but these are just the ones that are low in stock. So if you need power sheets, grab them now. All right, so let's get into the meat of today's topic. So like I said, we're talking about daily planning versus goal setting. How are they different? How are they alike? How do they work together? This is a very important topic. We're often asked this question, but it doesn't usually sound like that. What it sounds like is, I know what I want to accomplish, and I think I know the steps to get there. If you have power sheets, you've worked through all of that already. But the next question, and the most important question, is, but how do I actually make that happen? I'm really busy, I'm overwhelmed, I don't have time. How do I make all these big dreams and big plans actually live and exist in my life? So that's where daily planning comes in. We're going to talk all about it. If you have ever felt like, what do I do now? This is for you. It's a great question, and one that I have often asked myself. It took me a couple of years, I'll say, to really get into a good rhythm of this too. So before we dive in though, for all the practical tips, I do want to tell you that Power Sheets has everything that you need to make your goals happen. I'll show you my Power Sheets. I got the leatherette this year. Kind of a change for me, but I like it. So in Power Sheets, every month, the 1 year Power Sheets especially have a place for every month. We have 90-day Power Sheets if you like to set goals in shorter bursts, but 1 year Power Sheets, we have this spot in Power Sheets, 1 page for every month, called a tending list. It's the heart of Power Sheets, and on this list that you'll make each month, you have space to break out your goals by month, by week, and then by daily habits. So don't worry, you don't have to do any of this by yourself. It's all guided through there, as you know if you're a Power Sheets user already. But this is very, very helpful because you can see, okay, what action steps do I need to just make sure I accomplish at some point in the month? What are some weekly rhythms that I can establish this month that will help me inch towards my goals? And then you have also a place for your daily habits. On this paper, you write them out. There's a place for encouragement, your monthly priority. There's a place for you to track your progress. That's also really important. But if you're like me, the tending list is super awesome and super helpful, but some of us need to take it a step further because our lives might be very busy, and these things can sometimes get forgotten if we're not really intentional about planning them. Not everybody. Some people, the tending list is the perfect situation, but for me, I needed a little bit more intentionality in my life to make it happen. So that is what we're going to talk about today. Let's start with what goal setting is. You probably know because you're here at Cultivate, but just a real quick reminder, goal setting is where you look at your life from the grand scheme of things, like what do you want to accomplish when you're 80, and you think about what goals and big dreams you have, what legacy do you want to leave behind, and then you slowly work backwards, planning action steps to get you there. You do all of that in your Power Sheets. Like I said, you don't have to do any of that on your own. I like to think of goal setting like a staircase, if you will, where our big dream is there at the top, and then each step along the way gets us there. In my house, my childhood house, we had a little landing pad that broke up the stairs. So there were a few steps, and then there was the stopping point, a landing pad, and then you could go the rest of the way up. Goal setting is very, very much like that. You might have mini goals or landing pads along the way that help you mark your progress. So unfortunately, in my house, we had this system. My mom would rush around all the time. Bless her heart. She had 3 crazy kids, and she was an entrepreneur. And she would put stuff on the landing pad for us to carry up the stairs when we went up. But a lot of times we forgot about those things, or we just neglected them. And the landing pad would become very cluttered with things that needed to be tended to. And eventually she would just be like, everybody stop right now. Your only goal right now is to clear off the landing pad. Go get the things that need to be tended to and carry them up to up the top of the stairs to your bedrooms. And in a lot of ways, goal setting can be like that. Not only is goal setting, it's not like, it's not a ski lift. You don't just zip to the top. You must take one step at a time. But oftentimes we can set those really important things that we intend to take care of and to tend to on a landing pad per se, and then just leave it there because we're busy rushing around. We've got appointments and laundry and dishes and places that we need to be. And so those things that are important that need to be carried all the way to the top to help us reach our goal just get lost and neglected there. I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but I definitely have felt like, oh my goodness, I had all these grand plans and I didn't actually take them to the top, or I didn't make progress with them. So we are going to talk about not just goal setting, but mostly we're going to dive into daily planning, because that moment where you stop and you say, okay, let's clear this off. Let's make a plan to get all of these things that are here on the landing pad that we've planned to do. We've designated them where they need to go. Let's actually stop and actually physically take them up the stairs. And I think that stopping moment is where progress really happens, because in our day and age, in our time, we're all pulled in 1,000 different directions all the time, every day. And many of us never stop and think beyond our wonderful Power Sheets prep work process. It's so nice to sit down and think about our goals, but then life happens and days get busy and appointments get scheduled and kids need to be to school and lunch needs to be made and groceries need to be bought, and all those things take precedence over the stuff that we intended to do. So how do we clear off our landing pads, and how do we actually make progress on our goals? Let me give you some practical tips. It's pretty simple. The solution to that is daily planning, and some of you might be thinking, I'm not a daily planner. So what do I do if I'm not a daily planner? I definitely have been there myself. I'm going to talk to you about that too. I just want to encourage you though, because goal setting alone will not get you to your goals. It's the equivalent of setting everything on the landing pad. My mom could set things there all day long and it wouldn't make our house clean because nobody actually carried them up the stairs. And I think that sometimes that's where we get a little bit hung up in our goal setting, because we feel like we've done this hard work, and it's not unpleasant work, but it is challenging. Honestly, I'll just say it, to sift through everything that the world is telling you to do and actually get to the heart of what really matters to you. That does take some thinking. But then if you don't continue to carry those things up the stairs, it won't ever happen. And unlike my analogy with our landing pad in my house, nobody is coming to carry those things up the stairs for you. You have to do it yourself. So I feel like that's like a freeing thought for me. I for a long time, I kind of felt like my goals would just happen if I planned them out properly, but that's not the case. We actually have to do them. So no one's coming to do it for you. You have to do it yourself, and that's freeing. It's empowering. It's a little intimidating, but don't worry, you're not on your own. That's the purpose of this weekly accountability check-in with each other on Tending List Tuesday, so that we can help you get the tools that you need to actually make that progress and reach the top of your goal-setting staircase. So when you think about making progress on your goals, I want to encourage you to stop, like physically stop your body, physically stop your brain, and give yourself a few minutes every day to sit and think about what you have to accomplish. Some of you may be really good at this. For me, not so great at it. I hit the ground running, my feet hit the floor, and I have a million things to do. I have a to-do list left over from the day before. My Google Calendar is pinging me. My texts are going off. I've got emails that need to be tended to. And when I start my day like that, I feel like my time is monopolized by things that other people need. So what has worked for me is to take about 5 minutes in the morning, not a long time, I don't have a lot of extra time, but I have started making like this 5-minute window of time, or 10 or 20 or however many you need, just like the best part of your day. I light a candle, I listen to music, I take out my Power Sheets, I take out my daily planning system, and I just actually write and think and stop my body, stop my notifications, stop that like wheel of the world that just constantly turns for just a few minutes, and make a plan. That does so many things for your brain. If you've listened to me before, you know I love brain science. Your brain, friends, is constantly trying to keep you safe. It's so weird how we're like highly evolved, but we're still part of the animal kingdom. Just like a lion will bite you if you get too close to it, your brain will bite you if you don't take care of it. And it will do that through anxiety, through stress, through fear. And so when you daily plan, when you stop for 5 minutes, like I said, physically stop the notifications, stop the rigmarole, the emails, the everything for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. When you stop and you look at everything you have to do for the day, well planned, well thought out, it tells your brain that you're safe. It tells your brain that you have enough time. It tells your brain that you're doing well. It encourages your mind and it gives you peace. Actually, some people think that daily planning is kind of like restricting, but it actually gives you peace because it tells your brain that you're fine and that you're safe and that you're going to be able to do it all the things that you need to do today are going to get done and that you're going to feel accomplished at the end of your day. So before the crazy kicks in, I want to encourage you to stop in the morning, schedule some time for your goals, because the reality is, I've heard this said before, it's so true, but if you don't plan your days, someone else is going to plan them for you. So take some time, send that signal to your brain, and give yourself that space to do it. Just seeing my day laid out, I'll show you that now too. Just seeing my day laid out for me makes me feel better. Honestly, this takes me about 5 minutes. I was using the season by season planner that we have, but I found that like all of my days didn't necessarily need to be scheduled so intensely. Some days are much busier than others. Some days I have a lot more fun. Some days I have more meetings or I have only one thing that I'm working on. So what I'm loving right now is our weekly planner notepad. So what this looks like is I sit down at my desk, 5 minutes, like I said, light a candle, turn on some music, whatever you love, and just think. It's so simple, but so challenging. Not a lot of people spend time doing that. I take my notepad, I look at my power sheets, and I try to figure out what I can realistically do that day to inch myself towards my goals. So for today, busy day, I really need to read tonight. I have a reading goal that I want to accomplish, so I just added it to my schedule. I have several meetings today. I have the joy of being here with you guys this afternoon. I needed to write and I wanted to do my morning routine. So I sat there and I wrote it all out, looked at my Google Calendar for work, I looked at my power sheets and my attending list, and I just made a quick plan. It doesn't take very long. It's very easy. I like this notepad because you can just rip it off. I'll show you what it looks like. Oh gosh, better not lose my daily plan. But it just looks like this. We have a couple of different colors too, if this is something that you would like. I love that you can just rip it off, throw it away. If you have a bad day or you don't get it all done like you wanted to, you can just start fresh on the next day. It's a little bit different than a planner because it doesn't like stay with you for the whole year. So I love this notepad. And I just fill it out. You saw it. Here it is. This is my day. It gives me so much peace. I know that the things that are important to me are going to get done. I make a little to-do list. This one's cool too because it has a place to like track your exercise and your meal prep and your water and all of that. And it just takes me about 5 minutes. 5 minutes to have peace throughout your entire day. I mean, gosh, like who wouldn't love that? Okay, so let me make sure I'm keeping track with y'all. My notes. Okay. I talked about daily planning. So some of you are probably thinking like, I don't really like daily planning. It's not for me. I definitely was that person too. For a while, before I started using the season by season planner, oh, by the way, season by season looks just like this on the inside. So if you have the season by season planner, it's the same format, just not in a notepad. If you want to try season by season, we're out of stock of them right now, but you can get the same system here in a notepad. But if you are not a daily planner, you might also like weekly planning. We have a planner pad for that, so I'll show you that as well. Same kind of concept. You can just schedule out your week. I have a really close friend who loves weekly planning, and what she does is she goes like on Sunday nights, does the same thing, lights a candle, music, the whole relaxing stop and think situation. But what she does is she fills in everything that she has to do, like appointments, meetings, dentist things, like that kind of stuff that we all have to get done, laundry, that kind of stuff. And then each morning she stops and she fills in her goal action steps from her tending list, and that seems to work really well for her. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. I think the really important part to remember about daily planning is that it just takes some stopping and to think about what you have going on. We are so prone to tell ourselves that we don't have time, but you honestly don't have time to not think intentionally about your life, because you'll just spiral, do everything for everyone else. You'll lay down at night and you'll feel like, I was so busy today, but I accomplished nothing. And daily planning removes that feeling of like, oh my gosh, what did I do all day today while I was busy running around? Did I actually accomplish anything? I'll also have some friends, myself included, before I started this system of daily planning, my power sheets would kind of like sit on the shelf, or like I have a cookbook stand that I keep them on. They would like sit there, and I would just be like, okay, I know that I need to get to these things eventually, but I don't have time today, so I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes tomorrow, and tomorrow becomes tomorrow, because I wasn't being intentional about where those action steps actually fit into everything else that I had to do. So daily planning for me has been a huge game changer. I'm not perfect with it, but I'm definitely getting a lot closer. I also wanted to show you something really cool that has been really helping me. So like I said, we have power sheets. This is Tending List Tuesday, so we always check in on our tending list on Tuesday. I have been checking in on my tending list every morning before I make my daily plan. But you've got that in your power sheets. If you have power sheets, it's a great way to start planning your days. This power sheets plus my daily planner notepad. I like the season by season journal because it's bound. It has a hardback cover, and I didn't want this getting messed up if I needed to take it on the go, so I just slide it into my carry-all pouch, and it stays in there so nice. Let me see if I can do this with my phone all propped up here. Bad at technology, remember? All right, so your power sheets and your notepad can go right into this pouch, and it won't get messed up. It's a perfect little system, especially if you're a person who's on the go. I know sometimes when we have like work one day, or your hybrid schedule, or you have meetings planned, stuff like that you need to attend to. Weekly planning, also an option. Daily planning, I will say this, even if you plan to weekly plan, I would definitely stop every morning and check in on what you have to do. Look at your power sheets, look at your Google Calendar, look at your family calendar, and actually write those things down. Like I said, it gives a signal to your brain that you're safe and that you're making progress and that everything is going well, and you don't have to worry about those things happening. One other quick tip that I've learned is sometimes setting alarms on my phone is helpful for me. If I know I have a meeting in the morning when I'm daily planning, I'll just go ahead and set those alarms when I need to have something accomplished, when I need to be present somewhere, if I have a phone call that I need to make. Sometimes those like audio cues help me not to get behind, because if you've tried daily planning, you might know it's really easy. Same thing, it's really easy to just like fill out what you intend to do and then get busy doing other things and not actually live out your daily plan. So for me, setting alarms on my phone kind of keeps me accountable to this. And it's been working really well for me. So I would love to hear if you like daily planning, how your goal setting is going. If you enjoyed having Tending List Tuesday on Instagram, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. I hope that this has given you a little bit of encouragement and some practical tips for how to reach your goals. And I just want to encourage you to take some time for yourself every day to plan your day. You are worth 5 minutes. Your goals, they matter to you. You are so very, very worth just a few minutes in your morning to stop and make sure that you have all of your tending list items in a row. All right, I cannot wait to see you guys again. You'll have another person next week, but we rotate out, so I'll see you again soon. Thank you all so much for coming. We're so grateful for you, and we are looking forward to seeing you soon. Bye. Sarah's lighting a candle. I love that. Bye, y'all. See you later.